Welcome to Gay Fairfax, the capital area's only weekly gay cable magazine sharing news, views, and pride. I'm Michelle Michaels.
And I'm Dave Hughes. Each week, we'll feature events and personalities of interest to the gay women and men in Northern Virginia.
On this edition of Gay Fairfax, we'll explore legalized marriage in the gay rights movement, and we'll return to the 1991 Gay Pride celebration with one of the metro area's favorite singing, songwriting lesbians, Cheryl Jacobs.
The Gays and Lesbians for Individual Liberty sponsors debates on issues of concern to the gay men and women in our area. In a debate moderated by the Libertarian vice presidential candidate, Dr. Nancy Lord, the question was, should legalized marriage be a major goal of the gay rights movement? On the yes side, Andrew Sullivan from the New Republic, and on the no side, Tom Palmer for the Institute for Human Studies.
Hi, thank you for the honor of being your moderator tonight. We have with us Andrew Sullivan, who is the acting editor of New Republic, and he will be speaking in favor of legalizing homosexual marriage. And we have Tom Palmer, who is the Director of Student Affairs at the Institute for Humane Studies at George Mason University in Virginia, and is also the Director of Eastern European Programs. He will be speaking against it from a libertarian perspective. Each of the gentlemen will have 15 minutes to open, and then 5 minutes to rebut, after which we will open up for questions. So if you get an idea for a great question, hang on to it, you'll get your chance. Andrew.
One of the questions that we rarely ask, it seems to me, in gay politics is a very simple one, and that is, what do we really want? Most of the gay political leadership has an almost set response, which is anything that sounds like it's good for gay people. I want a society in which what I had to go through and what many of you had to go through growing up doesn't have to happen. In which gay kids can actually grow up thinking that there will be a reasonable life for them, that they could lead fruitful lives, that they could become part of the society in which they're born as fully equal human beings, and that psychologically they would not be damaged. I also happen to think, and this really comes to the second part of what I have to say, the first part is about being part of our society, is that it's good for us. I think it's incredibly self-destructive, emotionally and psychologically, to believe that somehow, because we are homosexual, we are unable or unworthy of lifetime, or as long as one can imagine, commitment to another human being. I think the damage that that knowledge does to us, subtly and slowly and pervasively, that somehow we don't have this institution, somehow that isn't what we're destined to be, filters its way down to every single act that we do socially and every single way that we interact emotionally with one another. I'm against domestic partnership and think it is a halfway house which is an insult to gay people and which has in itself absorbed homophobia into its very idea of what it is to be gay. Domestic partnership says as its fundamental premise that the family is essentially an outdated institution, that the idea of lifetime, long-term, monogamous commitment is something which doesn't actually exist anymore, and the subtle argument is it shouldn't really exist. It's almost unhealthy. I want to raise the unsettling proposition that we are like everybody else, that we are human beings who need love and companionship and security, who need social institutions to support us like other human beings, who need support for our desire for fidelity, who need a bulwark against emotional chaos, who demand the right to be treated equally as everybody else without infringing upon the freedom of anybody else. That should be the rallying cry for the gay movement. And marriage would be, in my mind, the first and the foremost institution in that strategy.
Andrew has argued quite eloquently that this should be the major goal of the gay rights movement. I'm going to present an argument that that's incoherent. For example, the arguments in favor of state discrimination against gay people, such as in the military, typically rest to a very large extent on the fact that many states retain statutes criminalizing gay sexual activity, so-called sodomy. The defenders of discriminatory policies argue, quite logically and consistently, that they cannot change their policies to condone acts that are illegal, according to the laws of Virginia, the District of Columbia, and so on. Similarly, in child custody and adoption cases. How can the state give custody of a child to two people who persistently commit terrible crimes, meriting heavy criminal penalties from the very same state organization? Logically, as well as strategically then, it seems to me that elimination of sodomy laws should take precedence over these other goals. Currently, 25 states retain laws against homosexual sodomy. And these provide, in addition to being horrible in themselves, they provide the legal foundation for many other discriminatory policies, including policies of the federal government. So it seems clear to me that the elimination of these barbaric statutes should be one of the highest priorities, perhaps the highest priority of the gay rights movement, both because they are the most intrusive, most violent, most rights-violating anti-gay activity of the state, and also because they provide the legal ground for other less intrusive but nonetheless very important infringements of our rights by states. Gay marriage should not, therefore, be at the top of our list of concerns. Take the case of the lawsuit filed in the D.C. Superior Court by Craig Dean and Patrick Gill as an example. They're demanding that the D.C. government issue a license to engage in what the same D.C. government prohibits and punishes with penalties of up to 5 years in jail. Should the gay rights movement demand that the state license loving and committed gay relationships? Now, what is a license? A license is a grant of permission from the state to engage in this or that kind of behavior. It's a grant of permission. The state says, we allow you to do this. The terms of the license are fixed by the state, by the legislature. It determines what the terms of the license are. It determines the purposes that the license is intended to serve. And its grant or revocation take place on grounds determined by the legislature, and not by the parties whose interests are directly involved, people who seek to get married. State licensing of marriage is nothing more nor less than the intrusion of the state into the private relationship between two people who love each other. And it is an intrusion that gay people, above all, should reject. Now, my friend Craig and I have a loving and committed relationship. We're planning a ceremony for friends and family, and we will create the legal and contractual relationships suitable to us through the instruments I described, power of attorney, joint property, wills, and so forth. But where does society enter into the picture? Where does society come into this relationship between two people? And what business would it be of society to intrude into this very intimate and private relationship? In the end, such new law as will emerge by people creating their own contractual relationships will benefit both gay and straight people who want to engage in loving relationships and have the legal protections that these contracts provide. Thank you.
I agree with Andrew that marriage is not a bed of roses, and it certainly requires a lot of work on the part of the individuals involved to make the marriage work. But my concern is heterosexuals have the freedom of choice. They can choose to participate in the marriage institution as it exists, as it is regulated. Gay people do not. Heterosexuals can also choose not to be part of the marriage and perhaps to settle for any of the variety of relationships that both of you gentlemen have alluded to. At this point, gay people have no choice. We simply have to make our own way. In the interest of freedom, in the interest of choice, should we not have the right to perhaps participate in the institution as it currently exists, or to continue as we are now?
My point was a question of strategy, because that was part of the debate topic. Not only is it a good thing, but it shouldn't be a major goal. And if you're going to say it's a major goal, you have to face up to the question of what are you more likely to get. And as I mentioned, 25 states have repealed their sodomy laws.
Gay Fairfax needs you. Energetic and dedicated people willing to work hard and have fun too. Use your creative talents to produce segments, edit video, or interview guests on camera.
You can learn a new skill, become a camera operator, field producer, or post-production coordinator. You can make a difference. Join the Gay Fairfax team today.
Write to us at Gay Fairfax, care of FLGCA, Post Office Box 2322, Springfield, Virginia 22152, or call us at area code 703-451-9528.
Cheryl Jacobs, a 5-year Gay Pride stage veteran, opened the 1991 DC Gay Pride Day celebration with a mix of pop, rock, and rhythm and blues. Cheryl, a graduate of the Berklee School of Music, expands her community following each time she performs. Here's the metro area's favorite singing, songwriting lesbian, Cheryl Jacobs.
Our first performer on the Pride stage for 1991 has been with us many years in the past for her 6th performance here at Gay and Lesbian Pride Day. A big welcome for Cheryl Jacobs.
I know it. I a time when they used to say that behind every great man there had to be a great woman. Well, in these times of change, you know that it is no longer true. Yeah, we're coming out of the kitchen, 'cause there's something we forgot to say to you. We say sisters are doing it for themselves, standing on their own 2 feet, bringing on their own bells. Sisters are doing it for themselves. This is a song to celebrate the conscious liberation of the female state. Mothers, daughters, and their daughters too. Woman to woman, I'm saying to you, the inferior sex has got a new exterior. Yeah, we got doctors, lawyers, politicians too. Everybody, take a look around. Can you see, can you see, can you see there's a woman right next to you? Sisters are doing it for themselves, standing on their own 2 feet and bringing on their own bells. Sisters are doing it for themselves. Now we ain't telling stories, we ain't making plans. No man needs an equal woman, a woman wants an equal man. Don't you know it's true? Huh. Huh. Sisters are doing it for themselves. Now there was a time when they used to say that behind every great man there had to be a great woman. Well, in these times of change, you know that it is no longer true. Yeah, we're coming out of the kitchen, and there's something we forgot to say to you. We say sisters are doing it for themselves, standing on their own 2 feet, bringing on their own bells. Sisters are doing it for themselves. Sisters are doing it for themselves. Sisters are doing it for themselves. Doing it, 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 doing it. Oh, sisters are doing it for themselves. Sisters are doing it for themselves. Sisters are doing it for themselves.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Gay Fairfax. Don't forget to tune us in next week at this time. For Gay Fairfax, I'm Michelle Michaels.
And I'm Dave Hughes. Thank you for joining us, and remember to keep the pride alive.
My dad said find someone new. New. I had to tell my Jenny where. What do you think we say? That you better go find somebody new. She said said a smile when she kissed me goodbye. Tears were getting sharp. And as she drove down that great night, I begged you to stop. Whether she ever heard, I'll never know. I felt so helpless. What do I do? Remembering all the things we've been through. At school you'll stop and stare. I can't hide the tears, but I just don't care. I'll never forget you, the leader of the pack.
The leader of the pack.